Hello there, all you crazy new guitarists. Welcome back. Hopefully, there's more of you by now. Hopefully, if not, I'm still here. Gonna keep doing this. So last time, we covered more chords, more stuff like that. Today, we're gonna cover more scale, and I say more scale because we're gonna do this as an extension of G major scale, not as though for the most part, not as though it's all new scales. It's new shapes, absolutely, but we're gonna think of it not necessarily so much as modes, which some of you guitarists have probably heard that crazy shredders talking about modes and all that stuff. Let's not think about it that way yet. We're just taking G major and filling out the fretboard with it. That's what we're gonna think about today, or as of now. We're going to talk about E minor. There's a reason for that. It's fairly common to go between like G major, E minor. They're the same notes. Now, when you get into there are different things about E minor in the future. As of now, we're not going to alter anything, no altered chords, none of that. So, as far as you and I are thinking right now, G major and E minor are the same thing, except for an E minor. You land on that chord instead of this chord, okay? So, we covered the G major scale. Now we're going to do that same thing, not the same shape, those same notes, starting from the 7th or F sharp. Okay, this is what that looks like. Now what you've got is 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7. Now remember what I said. These scales, once you learn the scale, notice the patterns, and then it becomes cyclical. All we did was went from here back to here, and now we just rearranged the repetition of those patterns. Remember, in the G major, you had the major, major, diminished, diminished, minor, minor. Now, starting from the 7th, you've got diminished, diminished, minor, minor, major, major. Okay? I'm telling you, that's going to become very, very handy to remember those and just keep flipping that around in your head as you move around these new spots and learn that more and more. That way, someday, let's say that you go through all this craziness, you listen to me forever, you start following other guitarists, you learn all this stuff, and someday you find yourself playing gypsy jazz. You'll be able to switch gears on the fly just by knowing the shape. You don't got to think about the notes anymore. Notes, you can take the notes and just the shape. You'll be able to go, okay, well, I was in the major, let's go to that Locrian shape. And all of a sudden you went from G major to G Locrian, and you didn't think about any notes or anything crazy, you just flipped gears, okay? But right now, we're just filling in G major, okay? So again, you've got 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, okay? Diminished shape, minor shape, minor shape, major shape, major shape. Like I said, out in the music community, I don't know how many people think of it that way. Those are just what I call them, because the 7 chord, we're starting from the 7th, is a diminished chord. So in my head, diminished. And then minor, minor. Why? Because the minor scale starts with that. You're about to find that out. Major, major, because the major scale starts with that shape. Okay, now let's take one more step back. We're going to start from the 6th. E minor is the 6th chord in G major. It's also open, the open note. We finally get to fool with those a little more. Okay, so you're going to go 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3. And then you're going to go 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4. Here's your little hang up spot. Remember, You know, the G to the B, everything moves up a fret because it's goofy. If you got 1, 3, 5 is what's happening on the B. And then on the high E, you've got 2, 3, 5. And that's your minor shape. As we do this, it occurs to me I never tell you the numbers descending. You know why? Because I'm very bad at it. I actually just started writing a lot more stuff in descending order because I realized, like, hey, I don't really think about that much. And descending, like, even when I'm playing quicker stuff, when I descend, I'm slower at it, I'm worse at it. So it's good to find things like that about your playing that you go, well, you know, that thing there, maybe I'm good at it one way, I'm terrible at it the other way. Well, then you should practice it the other way way more because that's the way you're not good at it, right? Now, I'm not going to on camera start practicing telling you the numbers in descending order because I'll look like an idiot. But now, the cyclical pattern of the shape that I keep talking about, let's cover that on that minor scale. You got minor, minor, major, 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 diminished. And now, we finally get to a point of something I've been wanting to explain. The major pattern can happen 3 times in a row. The other two only ever happen twice in a row. That never happens any other way. The major pattern happens 3 times in a row off of the 5. So the 5 of G is D. So if you start from the 5, you'll have major, 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 then diminished. Okay? I'm not trying to be... Hopefully I'm not making this more confusing by trying to make it simpler. I'm convinced, and it works well for me, that if you memorize that shape, then eventually you just see that, oh, that order always works that way no matter what I do, right? Because you got, like I said, that diminished twice, that happens here too. But it's only ever twice in a row. There's no time where you would do that. It never happens. That does every time. We're not talking about altered scales either. You know, when I say it never happens, it always happens this way. We're talking if you're just playing in a straight major or minor key, these shapes are going to happen in that order always. Again, you'll have minor, minor. Well, minor, minor is always followed by major, major, major. Always. Followed by diminished. Okay, so I've hooked you up with 2 more scales, starting from the 7th. And then starting from open. You can figure these different ways. Depends on how fast you want to be playing it, like what I did there. Your pointer's ready to go on that B string, whereas if you do it this way, you're trying to really crank back there. However, some people are slower with their pinky, so doing it that way can be very uncomfortable too. You kind of gotta, find a way that feels comfortable for you and just roll with that for a while and then start practicing it the way that feels uncomfortable. I can't stress that enough. If something's uncomfortable or you're bad at it or it's sloppy, choppy, however you want to word it, that's the thing you need to practice more than the other stuff. If it's smooth and you're already good at it, that's not the thing you need to practice a ton. Now I'm going to bust out the whiteboard again. Hopefully I get better at knowing how that thing goes, like when you show it to the camera, if it makes more sense. But hopefully I get better at it. I'm not saying I'm better at it today. But here you go. Get the light spots out of it. This is everything we just covered. E minor, G major, starting from the 7. Okay. I hope I filled it out correctly. I think it kind of makes sense. If it doesn't, I'll watch this back later. Right now, it kind of makes sense. Anyhow, get your little key over here. Red. If it's circling in red, it is a G. That's just so you know where all the roots are. Because remember, we're still thinking we're playing in G. Now, E minor, because E minor can be its own key. Well, they can all be their own key. But for today, major and minor keys only exist. Let's keep it simple for now. This is beginner stuff. So E minor, since it can be its own key, in blue I circled all the E's in that E minor scale so you can see the roots, and then all the reds are the G's. I can just tell by kind of looking at this that I'm probably going to have to start learning how to write everything backwards or something. But you can find these shapes online. I feel like I do a fair job of giving you the fret numbers and everything and explain where they are. And they just take a while to memorize and kind of, as I say, get into your hands. Because like I said, I think of everything as pattern, how many times you do this shape, and then how many times you do that shape. And so then once that's in your hands, in your head, then I don't really think about any of that note stuff very much anymore. But anyhow, hopefully this video didn't seem like I did real awesome, but hopefully you guys learned some stuff from it, and hopefully I just keep getting better at this, more comfortable, keep them kind of wrangled in, try not to be such a goofball, even though I'm kind of a weirdo. Yeah, you're going to do awesome. I'm sure you're already doing awesome. Just keep practicing, put the work in. As I've said before, the first 3 to 6 months, man, they're the tough ones. They're the ones where you really got to put the time in, and then later, everything just keeps coming easier and easier because you did put that time in. Oh, you know what, real quick, I'm going to throw in stretches, okay? Your fretting hand. Stretch your fingers. Don't get too crazy. Just stretch them nice. This will help you kind of open up, be able to reach farther over time. Get in between them. Give them like 15 to 20 second stretches. I'm not going to do it 20 seconds on camera because you're going to be like, why is this guy? You won't like it. It'd take forever. Get all of them. And then you can kind of do little pullbacks on them. You know, nice stretches. Keep that hand nice and stretched out. Always kind of warm up too. That's those little exercises. Just you know, pointer to ring, pointer to middle, pointer to pinky, pinky back, ring back, middle back. Those are good to warm up on. All right. You're doing awesome. Have a good day.